Probably Libya's in Africa for sure.
For sure.
I think you were right next to Libya. Does it matter?
Yeah.
Why?
I forgot why I thought.
Do you remember why we were talking about Libya?
No. Oh, Boris Johnson. What are we talking about today?
Well, today we're talking, speaking of fucked up hair, today we're talking about college mascots, college sports mascots. Thank you guys for tuning in to Seasoned Vets. I'm Martin Henn.
I'm Boris Johnson.
Of course, we got Jimmy with us today, too. Thanks so much for tuning in. But yeah, we're talking about kind of in the thick of March Madness right now. You watched a March Madness game last night.
Unfortunately, yes.
That's right. Who did you see play?
Well, we started with Indian food for dinner, and then one of Chip's friends was like, I should come over and watch the game. And I was like, ugh, this sounds awful. So then it turns out that game is like 2 hours fucking long.
Yeah.
Basketball is too long.
How
And
long?
then they were talking.
Hang on. How long do you think a basketball game should be? How long should they play for?
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Fast.
They should play
Real
one
fast.
quarter.
Yeah. Quarters?
Wow.
These are halves.
Well, it's halves in
count.
college, yeah.
Don't make me explain it to you, Martin.
I won't. I would never do that
I'll
to
tell
you.
you how sad I got when I saw the number 2 at the bottom of the screen.
You're like, there's another one?
And they were like, don't worry. It's the second half. I was like, fucking good. The TCU.
They told you, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. The game's almost over.
Right. I
amazing.
guess, yeah. Don't worry, Colton. I know you're sitting over there distraught. I could have just walked away. I felt like I had to watch it. I guess.
Just to be polite.
Gonzaga and TSU.
Yeah.
TCU. I don't know
who won.
I think
I don't know who won either.
Gonzaga.
Now, do you like Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
So Francis Ellis, I think it was him. He had a great comment. He goes, in order to get my girlfriend to watch sports, I talk about the players and what's all the drama going on with them, like Game of Thrones.
That's the whole podcast, Jimmy. That's why we're here.
But you could do that with March Madness and get into it.
Yeah.
Chip would love that.
But then I'd have to know the gossip.
That's the thing is Colton just still doesn't. These people don't have anything to do with his regular life, so their personal lives don't matter in his realm.
Oh, their personal lives do not matter to me at all.
Because you'll talk about some drama like, oh yeah, this guy had to sit out for a year for betting on the games, and Colton will be like, well, he didn't win me any money. Why do I care if he bet or not?
Yeah.
Is that a person?
This is what I'm talking about. It did happen in college basketball.
Wait, do you have any interesting facts that maybe you think could sway me?
About college basketball?
Like a game coming up?
Nothing's jumping out, Martin. You got anything?
Nothing's.
I don't think we have anything
shining at me.
really happening this year in terms of
this whole year. This whole year.
Well,
how many fucking games are there?
Not this calendar year. Okay, so we already did one. What was who's the fucking UT coach that beat the shit out of his girlfriend?
Yeah, but that guy can't play in every game, Martin.
See, you don't care.
I would care if his girlfriend sometimes showed up on the court.
She just rematch. She's just
and he was like, and they always had to pull him back.
She's on the other team.
Yeah. That I would care about. If that could happen, I'd love it.
I mean, we talked about Chris Paul having an affair with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West bringing it to light. Are you paying attention to the Phoenix Suns at all this year after that?
No.
Yeah.
Because again, Kim Kardashian isn't showing up to fucking polish him off during halftime, you know?
Would you watch that?
Is that what you
I'd
want?
watch it. We all would watch it.
Look, Kim K sideline BJs?
Yeah, if there was one ref who's like, ugh, and Chris Paul is taking another timeout.
You got to go to the penalty box, and then you just get, rather than getting penalized, you just get sucked off.
And then one of them would be just let us play. And he's like,
do you think, if in sports, right, let's say there was one penalty you commit, and then if you commit that penalty, you get sucked off. Do you think players would try to commit that penalty more?
no.
If offsides meant you got hand stuff, You think some
Hand
offensive,
oh.
like offensive lineman would be like, "Whoa, I tripped."
I thought you were calling fisting hand stuffed.
No, that's fist stuff.
Oh, I hand stuffed
Hand
him.
stuff.
Hand stuffed him.
hand stuff. It's like an
No.
and one in basketball. Hand stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think people would go off sides if that was the
No,
case.
if it meant you'd get fisted.
Yeah.
You know, Colton, there were famous athletes that would get blowjobs or like fuck girls in the middle of games, like Darryl Strawberry from the Mets.
It has happened. Yeah, it's not
The Mets
unprecedented.
is
Baseball.
Baseball. I mean, those innings are so
Baseball.
fucking long. That makes sense.
Yeah, if there was ever a sport to get sucked off during, it's for sure baseball.
Yeah, you could hide in the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's the most hiding spots.
poker.
The game's long as fuck. Poker. I couldn't keep a poker face. It'd be like, he's got to come. He's got to straight.
Like, this isn't about this. This isn't about this.
You might have a good hand. I got a great mouth.
And you know, if it could be done,
Texas blow him.
if it could have been done, Tiger for sure would have found a way.
Yeah.
In golf.
Oh, Tiger would have done it. Did you see the thing recently that came out? Tiger got in a bunch of trouble because
The girlfriend?
What?
With the ex-girlfriend?
No, he got in a bunch of trouble because they were like playing in a golf meet, and he was walking by one of his buddies, and as a joke, he like handed something off to his buddy, and they got a picture of it. And he was handing him a tampon
Yeah.
as like a joke, and he got in serious trouble for it.
What was the trouble?
Like it was like misogynistic. It was offensive to women that he would make a joke like, "Oh, here's a tampon" to a man.
Yeah.
Because we use those.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. They are finally doing away with the tampon tax.
Yeah.
Tampon tax.
Are you all up to date on that?
Tampax, you mean?
Yeah,
Tampax.
Tampax.
I
There it
couldn't
is.
think of an issue that affects you less.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm all up in the pussy rights. Rights. Laws.
Well, I mean, according to what you said at Creek in the Cave last Wednesday, I don't really believe you. I
It's,
think that's
it's-
untrue.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stretch out them laws.
Rumor has it you're so pro-life, you think conception starts in the balls.
Right, fellas?
That's what I've heard.
Did you hear about Tiger Woods and his girlfriend?
No, what happened?
So Tiger Woods has all of his girlfriends sign NDAs that say if they break up, they're not allowed to talk anything about the relationship whatsoever.
Yeah. Fucking smart call, Tiger.
Yeah, exactly.
Should have got out ahead of this a little while ago.
And so now the most recent girlfriend, she was like with him for like 5 years or something. She's trying to write a book about it, and he's like, "Nope, rock solid NDA."
That's
and so she's
awesome.
suing him, saying like, I want to do it anyway.
That's ridiculous. That doesn't make it. Yeah, well, good luck.
She can write a book.
She just can't talk about anything about them.
Right. But
Redacted.
I bet she.
like it's all the times they like went and got brunch. And that's
Yeah.
it. There's just no spice.
How. I guess I was gonna say who's gonna read that, but this is what we're talking about. This is the drama
That's
that
why
makes.
we'll do it. Yeah.
makes
Chances are I'll read it
sports
and
good.
then we'll do an episode about it. So yeah, we're talking about college mascots today. We're in the throes of March Madness. The first one we're covering is one of the more unique college mascots and kind of one of the more polarizing ones, the Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers. Have you ever heard of the Hilltoppers?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think you had. So it's kind of like a rural-ish community. They're called the Hilltoppers because the college is on top of a hill. It's near Bowling Green University, kind of close to the border, I think, of Kentucky and Ohio. The Hilltopper was created in the 70s, and he is they are a representation of the school's spirit and attitude towards
Hills. We should be on top of them.
towards the sports.
What?
So his name's Big Red, and this is what he looks like.
What's a hilltopper?
So they're called the Hilltoppers because the school's on top of a hill.
Yeah, but that's not a thing.
It literally is.
But it's not.
They made it a thing. So they were like, "Oh, we're
So
on top
they're
of a hill.
inventing a thing?
We top the hill. We're a hilltopper."
You don't think a hilltopper is like the snow caps?
Whoa, no, I think those are snow caps.
snow. Like
I think there's already a
top
name
of
for
the
those.
mountain?
Nobody's ever like, oh, look at that big white hilltopper up there.
There's a bunch of different types of hilltops. We come in different colors. Stuff like mostly, apparently red in this case.
That was kind of my first, like, I felt like that was a little bit too easy, so I didn't do it. But my first idea for this episode was just finding a bunch of pictures of mascots and asking you what that mascot would be in the gay community. But I was like, that's a little too
This one
low-hanging
is
fruit.
this one is
Yeah.
Rosebud.
Oh.
You know what that is?
No, but I'm filling in the blanks, and I
Do you know what that is?
what is Rosebud?
Do you know what Rosebud is?
Does it have to do with hemorrhoids?
No. In fact, it could be a very healthy act.
Very
Though
healthy?
I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's not recommended, but it's fine.
Are you gonna enlighten us, or should we just have like a definition going across?
You don't want a picture of that
Okay.
anywhere, but it's basically when I think you pull out so fast that it turns inside out.
Ah,
Prolapsed asshole?
I think it's a temporary prolapse.
like you can pop it back in.
You can pop it back.
It's like
in.
it's like you dislocating your pinky.
Why did you say it was healthy?
I think it could be a healthy asshole that has it.
It does
I
not
think-
sound like you have any confidence behind those words. I think maybe
I'll
it could
tell
be
ya.
potentially.
I tell you, if somebody's like, "Oh, nice rosebud," I'm gonna go to the doctor after that.
You sound like Karl Rove. There's knowns and there are unknown unknowns, and there's unknown knowns. There's assholes and there's prolapsed assholes, and there's middle of the road assholes, which we just don't know. You know?
I know for a fact that it happens. Kind of a lot is what I hear.
Oh man. So
I don't know how.
So-
I'm not trying to find out.
So the Big Red Rosebud, Big Red, the mascot of Western Kentucky, kind of progressive for 1970s rural Kentucky. They made an effort to say Big Red is neither male nor female. So Big Red, non-binary, right? Pretty cool for 1970s Kentucky politics, right?
Is it?
I think so. I think them saying like, hey, this thing is just an entity. I mean, you think about the 70s, it's like everything needed a label. I don't know where I was going with that. But no, I mean, for real, like you think about like gender roles and like the 50s and, 50 years ago and shit like that. Like just having this like, no, he's just an orb. Or it's just an orb.
This might not make sense, but Hilltopper to me, the first thing I thought of was someone that gives blowjobs on top of a hill.
It does sound kind of suggestive. I think topper, like the hard ER at the end, really changes the energy in the word.
And it also is like, it's kind of like a glory hole where it's just a mouth on the other side. It's neither a male mouth nor a female mouth.
Right.
That's why it's non-binary. Like,
Yeah.
listen, anyone can get their dick sucked by this thing, and you don't
Exactly.
have to be
Yeah.
gay.
If you keep asking
I
questions,
do-
you're going to get in trouble.
I do think hilltopping. I think maybe that is what it is. Hilltopping is when you do this, and then it's a masturbatory thing. So you're doing this to yourself.
Oh, this is all yours. So these are your instruments right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Why are your balls on the other side of your dick?
This is that's your space work. That's your space work. This is just ready hands.
Oh, gosh, you okay? Because it looked like you had them. Where are your balls, man?
Welcome to Hill Country, Martin.
Why are they on top?
Let's go to Hilltopper.
The hill's on top.
The hills have eyes, don't they? Little googly one.
Okay, all right, sorry. Go through with your
No, I don't think I
theory
need
here.
to tell anybody. But basically, you do this to yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
So a Hilltopper.
Yeah, so that's what we got for I put Hilltoppers first because I was like, this is gonna be the dumbest, most boring one. I was very wrong. So Hilltopper is kind of started in 1979, late 80s. Actually won a lot of like mascot awards and like cheerleading awards. It became like a big hit of a mascot. And in the early 90s, an Italian children's show wound up ripping off the Western Kentucky mascot, to the point that Western Kentucky actually tried to sue the show's creator. He had to sue him in Italian court, and they won on a bunch of lower level courts, but the case kept getting escalated, which is fucking ridiculous to me. And eventually, Western Kentucky lost the case. So this Italian show still has a mascot that's very derivative of the Hilltopper. And I wanted to show you this just so you could see, like, tell me whether you think like this is a ripoff or not. Okay, so Western Kentucky, and then we'll have all these in the like doc and whatever. And that's Gabebo.
Gabebo is very different.
Do you think so? He is a little more Italian.
He's very Italian.
He's kind of got the hands
They might be
coming
related, but... And if you're listening to this, fuck you. Martin doesn't do narratives anymore. He doesn't actually know how to tell a story. He's not a storytelling kind of guy anymore. He has chosen only things that visually people... And if you're blind... Don't even think about fighting it.
If you're blind, what were you doing following sport? I was going to say watching sports, following sports in the first place.
It wasn't a sports podcast, Martin. This is how...
Touche. You know, honestly, if I'm being honest, I did like doing the narrative style. It's a lot of fun doing narrative episodes, but I noticed when I did narrative episodes, for some reason, we would just never get through the story. I don't know what was happening. Not pointing fingers anywhere whatsoever.
Right. Maybe, wait, the story you were trying to tell. Yeah. But I was doing you know my favorite kind of story? Choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
And when I'm listening to a story, that's how I'm telling the story.
And I realized that if I just give you the wheel every now and again, it'll save me a lot of heartache.
Heartache? What? You were trying to be like, oh, I was going to save this detail of Ryan Lochte's father's height for later. I was going to...
They'll never know about Brendan Shanahan if we keep going like this. Just kidding. He's not in the episode.
I don't know who that is.
Here's the thing. They sued an Italian kids show because why? Why would they even care? They're taking away the fear behind that people have when they look at the Hilltopper.
Yeah, I think it was just like, I think they were just claiming like we created it first and you ripped us off. The thing is, Western Kentucky fucked up. They didn't trademark Big Red until after all this shit went down.
What about the gum?
Ooh, I don't know with the gum. I don't know how they share the name with the gum, because that's a good point, too.
And there's also a drink called Big Red, isn't there?
Yeah, I guess maybe if it's like a different product, if it's a different intellectual property, you can still use the same name.
Oh, I'm going to fucking make some cool McDonald's shoes then.
Please do. That would be great
McDonald's
merch.
is different than just Big Red. I feel like Big Red is so...
Big Red's a pretty generic term.
So is Nike. So is Google It. I was saying,
so is Google
it. These are Google shoes.
Oh man. So the next one we got is the Stanford tree. The Stanford tree, one of the most polarizing mascots I think in sports. Some people think it is the greatest mascot of all time. Some people think it's the worst mascot of all time.
People from Stanford, they probably love it. They love the taste of their own cum. So
it is. It's do they?
Well, I dated a man from Stanford.
And is that what he was into?
He wasn't not into it.
Snowball?
He was a big fan
Of what?
tasting his own cum.
Oh, I was like, I thought you were talking about the mascot.
The mascot.
I don't think we ever got around to asking him that.
So yeah, basically Stanford. They were one of the schools that kind of had like, I'm pretty sure they were one of the schools that kind of had like an offensive Native American thing going on. So they cut out the mascot in like the 60s. They were a little bit ahead of the curve.
But you're guessing?
I'm pretty sure. I can't remember.
I feel like that's a big, for Stanford to have a Native American and for them to do away with it in the 60s?
It was pretty, they were pretty ahead of their time. So then after they switched out, they were just like
Jimmy. Do you know this answer?
Here, do you want me to double check?
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the things that you got.
Yeah.
You can't just say.
So I was right. So from 1930 to 1972, Stanford sports teams had been known as the Indians.
What kind?
Just the Indians.
Oh.
And during the time period of 51 to 72, they had this guy named Prince Lightfoot, who was like their official mascot. Native American students wound up like kind of objecting to that in the 70s, and then they got rid of it.
Kind of objecting to
Well, adamantly objecting.
we don't
to
have
it.
princes. That's our different hierarchical
Right?
structure.
We kind of don't like this.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
obviously pissed. So after that, Stanford got
They
kind
were
of.
okay. Also, those Native Americans should have been protesting about the fucking Vietnam War, not this goddamn.
Do you want to write a letter to the Native Americans?
Wait, is that
Be
what
like,
I was like? Hey,
you were on the
guys,
wrong side of
You
history.
were the wrong side of history with this one.
How does it feel?
Yeah, Prince Lightfoot has nothing to do with Native Americans.
Yeah, welcome over. Right. Yeah, he was just kind of fast, and he was
Were they a
royalty.
tribe of Lightfeet? Is that a tribe?
Is this the question? Is this the how tall is Ryan Lochte's dad? Is
No,
that what
but
I'm getting
isn't
to?
Lightfoot a? I know there's Lori Lightfoot, who is the mayor, the former mayor of Chicago.
The famous Native American mayor of Chicago.
Right. I didn't know if she was. Okay, we can go on about this stupid fucking tree then. Here we go. Here we go.
So I don't want to talk about anything important. So yeah, the marching band kind of started like doing like joke mascots at games, and so they had like a manhole cover for a little bit. They had a French fry for a little bit, and then eventually they got the tree, and the tree kind of stuck around to the point that it became like the main mascot for Stanford University.
I feel like the Native Americans would still be unhappy with that.
Yeah.
Like,
We
oh,
love trees.
Yeah.
We fucking love. That's our god.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like sure, it's not a racist depiction of us, but it's a racist depiction of the thing that we hold most sacred. And
Mother
you're
Willow.
wondering, how can a tree be a racist depiction of anything? And we will get to that in just a moment. So basically the Stanford tree is a part of the marching band, and he goes I think it's a he. I don't know if they gender the tree. But the tree goes wherever the band goes. So every event that if the band's at a college sports game, if marching, whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's been a little bit of drama around the tree. In 2006, the tree was being worn by this woman named Erin Leschnitz. And during a men's college basketball game against Cal, which Cal is their biggest rivalry, like fights break out between Stanford and Cal students. Campus police saw...
What a fucking bunch of losers.
Right? I know. They're all rich beyond like their
Yeah.
wildest fucking dreams. Never had to work for anything.
There's probably something to do with grammar.
They're both like research universities. You know what I mean? They're both like scientific research. It's like, chill out, you fucking nerds. It's basketball.
What are they mad about?
Exactly. So Leschnitz got caught drinking from a flask during the game, and this was at Cal. And campus police went over and like pulled her over and gave her a sobriety test. Do you want to guess what the Stanford tree blew during the basketball game?
0.
All the players in the locker room.
All the players in the back. It was a really good year.
Damn.
Leschnitz on the breathalyzer blew a .157.
Point
like
157.
Twice the legal limit.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes
fucking
sense.
tanked as a tree.
Yeah, I mean, you're a mascot. What do you know?
Wait, I want to see how encumbered she is. Like, is this a spry tree with just like some twigs on the top, or is this a full?
Oh, yeah. We haven't shown you a picture of the tree yet. So first off, I'll show you early versions of the tree because they get a little like. I'm not comfortable with the way the tree used to look.
Makes you uncomfortable, huh?
It feels a little offensively cartoonish. So here's some pictures of the Stanford tree.
Okay. Whoa.
Right?
Who is it trying to?
It's just not
cartoonish
great.
of?
Well, it's just a really big brown tree with like giant red lips, and it's usually smiling really hard. And it feels a little derivative. Does that not feel a little derivative to you?
No comment. I don't know what that does or doesn't look like.
So, as you can imagine, I mean, being in a costume like that, it's not impossible to move around, but if you're a little fucked up, there's also not like a lot of, no pun intended, wiggle room. If that makes sense.
So which one was she in?
She was in like an 06 version, which kind of looks like that.
Yeah, you can drink in that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can. I think getting a flask in it's going to be kind of tricky. Because I feel like your arms are on the outside.
Now you could drink anything. Believe me, I would have been fucking.
This isn't like making you want to relapse, is it? On your alcohol, you're like, oh man, I never thought about drinking in a tree outfit.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, good.
If I relapse, it's gonna be on harder ground.
My buddy, he was the mascot for our high school, and he would just get shithouse drunk before the games.
Yeah, as you do.
But like he was so drunk that like he wouldn't even really jump around. He was kind of just like imagine like a beer drunk. So you're kind of just like sitting there, and you're like your belly's full, and you're like, like imagine like a fat mare on during a parade.
Right.
Like, hey guys.
Yeah. Just I'm here. There's nobody else that's gonna do this job, so I'm gonna do it however I want to do it. Like I feel like that's what a lot. Well, once you get to a higher level, there's mascots are pretty excited.
Yeah, the Fighting Irish.
People are pretty.
Notre Dame's mascot, he gets into it. He's doing push-ups all game, and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once you
Fighting
get to the
Italians.
college level, it's like those guys are looking at it as like a career, which is kind of wild.
Is it a career?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it can be. I mean, like once you get to like pro level stuff like that, like you got to know gymnastics. It's, there's a lot of like public appearances you're making and stuff. I don't know if these guys can be like full-time mascots, but it is like a pretty serious chunk it can be a pretty serious chunk of your life from what I know.
Yeah, you could be a full-time mascot. I mean, there's a lot of like actual pro sports that have mascots.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, again, like all the stuff you're doing, like you're visiting like children's hospitals, you're doing all these like publicity spots that you're getting paid for too. Speaking of the Fighting Irish, we actually have a fight between the Stanford Tree and the University of Cal Golden Bear. This is from like the mid 90s. And I couldn't tell. This didn't feel staged. I know they stage like these mascot fights a lot. This one feels like these guys were actually trying to like hurt each other. And so that's kind of why I wanted to play it. So
That's why I wanted to play.
So I want you to like let me know if you think this is like a real fight or not. So it's OSKI the Golden Bear against the Stanford Tree.
And if you are listening to this, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you are shit out of luck.
Wait,
Martin
right
doesn't
before you
care
play
about
it, I just looked it up. The highest paid mascot is Rocky the Mountain Lion for the Denver Nuggets.
Really?
And he's paid $625,000 a year.
Wow.
More than $500,000 a year.
I wonder why it's him. I guess, I will say, like, I feel like Rocky has to do some pretty wild shit. Like, he has to do the shit where he, like jumps through the basketball hoop and dunks it and stuff like that. Yeah. They were doing that for a while with Bango, with the Milwaukee Bucks mascot. They had him do this thing where he'd stand on top of the backboard and he'd do like a backflip off and try to dunk it. And one time he like slipped and his leg got caught in the rim and he tore his ACL. Cause like literally like his
No. Don't.
It's gonna hurt too bad.
Okay. You have been Okay, this has been an audio.
Well, I'm visually
visual.
describing.
I know, but this is not the thing you need to visually describe. This is not Dr. Payne or whatever the fuck that movie is.
Major Pain?
I don't know, but I've had enough surgeries where I'm not interested, buddy.
You don't want to hear about an ACL tear?
They make a ton of money. Harry the Hawk from Atlanta Hawks makes $600K.
Yeah.
Benny the Bull from Chicago Bulls makes $400.
You've got to be pretty much a gymnast.
That's
like
like
you've got to be a pretty
hundreds of
high-quality
thousands of
gymnast.
dollars.
Are they all Asian?
No. I mean, no, I don't think.
I feel like you don't
that's
know
not
for
in
that
the
for
article.
a fact, but it's a very safe
Well,
assumption.
yeah, they're not all Asian. I
Not
imagine.
all Asian, but at least half.
Siri, what percent of mascots are Asian? No, not.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
There
sorry, that
we
little
go.
half giggle. I was like, I don't think he's really
There we go.
considering it.
She doesn't know how tall Ryan Lochte's dad is either, I'll tell you that much.
Has Siri ever asked you how serious you are?
Okay. All right, so this is OSKI the Bear versus the Stanford Tree.
Serious.
God damn it.
Stout of heart, light of head,
Okay.
has the ability to take
So-
a punt. And once actually
it,
fought
yeah.
to a draw with Arizona.
But yeah.
There's one
was a
guy,
wildcat.
height 3'5".
Stanford
What?
Tree, tall,
3 feet on
aggressive,
all legs,
a
5
dog's
feet
best
on
friend,
hind legs.
ageless,
So they're doing the tail of the
who
tape
promised to
for
tear
this
the
is like
bear,
promoting it for a
limb
fight.
from limb.
And it's the tree versus the bear.
As the opening bell
See, and I
sounded,
feel like
the
this is a
tree
legit
came right
fight.
at
I
the
feel like they're
unsuspecting
actually
bear
going
and
after each
delivered
other
a
here,
short,
not like fucking
compact
around.
left, smack dab on the
Because
snoot.
you're getting
Watch again in slow motion.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can throw bows in that,
Are the ones
right?
that travel the shortest distance. Round one to the tree. Although shaken
Also,
up, the
I
Cal
don't
Bear,
think
a
mascots are
grizzled
typically
veteran,
fighters.
took the advice from the corner.
They do.
Round
They
two.
get into it. There's I was looking through a thing. It was like the top
No bare
15
knuckles
mascot
required.
fights
Go
of all
right
time.
for the legs.
And
that's
it is. They
precisely
just
what the
get
bear
like
did.
into it. And he takes him down. It's a good takedown.
Wow.
Good takedown from the bear.
With the tree's trunk.
See, he's got some funky pants on.
Second
They're
question.
highlighting.
Should they stop the fight?
You know,
Oh,
See?
the carnage, the humanity.
Yeah, the tree is kind of see, and now they
The
gotta pull
bear,
him off.
Clearly shaken. Doesn't know which way
I
to
feel like
lead.
that bear was
He
legit
steps forward
pissed.
From the premises. And I ask you, is this any kind of an example for young?
Yeah.
You don't want to. You don't want to see that. You
No.
Don't want to. Whoa.
Peeling back the layer.
I gotta be honest. That was anticlimactic.
You know what? It was the best mascot fight I could find. Of all the mascot fights, not a lot of hard ones.
Do you think they ever throw up in the suit?
Oh God, I think without a doubt people have thrown up in the suit.
Because it's got to be hot.
Dude, it's so hot in there. And if you're dehydrated and you're like running around and doing jumping jacks and shit.
Like at least the
Easily.
the Disney characters, they have fans in the suit. I can't imagine there's.
The
fans
other
in
thing
the
is
suit.
all these college mascots are between 19 and 21.
And drunk.
Yeah, they're already drinking in the suit. What's the .157? Like they arrested her before she had the chance to throw up in that suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that you're saying that's pretty drunk?
.157?
I don't know. I know .08, but I don't really know what that.
It's
I've
pretty,
never like done the.
You've never done the
breathalyzer.
breathalyzer thing? Yeah. 1.1. I mean, I guess it affects everybody differently.
I knew a man who got pulled over about .157 driving, and he fled the state.
Really? Mm-hmm. Who was that? Oh, you can't tell me.
I guess I can't tell you, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you after the break.
Okay. Well, perfect. So we got one left. It's from Wichita.
We should
State.
cancel the tree one.
What? Like cut it out?
It was dumb.
Cut out the tree one?
I will be honest, like, you think colleges get super into the rivalry. I'm shocked that no one's ever tried to burn down the tree during a game.
Cal has stolen it multiple times. Like Cal will try to like break into Stanford and steal the tree and stuff as like a sporty, type thing. But yeah, I didn't see anything about like the tree burning down.
But could you imagine during a game, like they're playing somewhere crazy, like West Virginia.
Yeah.
They just dump a bunch of whiskey and set him alight. He starts running around.
Freaking out. And then it finally hits the flask that's inside the suit, just bursts into flame.
Yeah, because it does look like felt. Like you could get that puppy
Oh, it's
lit.
super flammable.
You could
It's
get that
probably
fucking
more
lit.
flammable than actual trees.
I bet.
Yeah.
When there's only one way to find out, and there's no mascot that deserves it more than that piece of shit.
It's a rough tree.
I had a coach that went to Air Force Academy, and they used to steal mascots as a part of like they were being trained to be in the military, so like
Yeah.
they didn't really have a whole lot of boundaries. Like they were like, listen, when we go to other countries, you can fuck with them, all right,
Right.
but you're not allowed to fuck with Americans.
Right, you got to follow the rules
I don't know what
here.
kind of boundaries they had, but they went and they stole the CSU Ram, I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was the
yeah.
Rams. And I think they left it in a car overnight or something like that, or something in a garage, and it died.
There was a big thing. I think it was Auburn. Like Auburn had this old. Do you know about this story? Auburn had this like really old tree, like 100-plus-year-old
I
tree
said an animal died.
on their campus.
I said an animal died.
Well, the tree
Marty.
was much older than the
Okay.
than the ram.
That's
Yeah.
how I measure important things.
Yeah, well, good. I'm happy we're on the same page. But yeah, Auburn had one where like they had this tree that was like sacred to the university and had been there for over 100 years. And I think an Alabama fan went in and poisoned the roots and killed the tree. And it was like this huge fucking story.
When I was in high school, like I said, I went to a Catholic school. We were playing the local public school, and some kids went to the campus, and we had a statue of Pope John Paul the 23rd, and he was like this.
Is that the good one?
Yeah, it's the good one. And he was like this. And they cut off all of the fingers except for the middle finger, so he's just flipping everyone the bird. And it
pretty
was
awesome.
like, and then they painted his face black, which was racist, but yeah, it was.
Was it racist?
It was worse that your school just kept it like that after you got it back. But
It stained the marble.
yeah, they're like, well, I mean, this is close enough. It kind of looks like the Stanford tree
Which
now.
was which pope was that?
Pope John the 23rd.
Was that like 4 popes ago?
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying he was a good one?
He was a good one, yeah.
There's no fucking
Dude,
way.
didn't
by
touch any
comparison, comparatively, he's a good pope.
The most recent
To
one's
the one
best
that used to be
so
a
far.
Nazi.
Isn't the latest one's gay?
I mean, he's the Pope. He doesn't fuck anybody.
Look how they dress. They're all gay.
What's the latest? Is the latest pope the Argentinian one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? There's not one after him?
No.
I think he said he's winding down, though, right?
Pope
He's kind of
Francis,
over it.
right?
I'm pretty tired.
He's like, I want to take a siesta.
Francis? There's too many popes. We should get rid of that
Too
institution.
many popes.
The Catholic Church.
Yeah.
That's a novel idea.
Too many bitches, not enough popes.
I
That's
think
what I
we
always say.
Too many bishops, not enough popes.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's fun. That's fun. So
right,
yeah, segueing
last
in,
one.
we got one left. We got this is a fun little one. It's one we all know, the Wichita State Shockers. Right? Have you heard of the Shockers as a college sports team name?
I think, but I always think it's the Sonics.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, the Shockers get a lot of flack because of the sex move, the fingering thing, but it's not like they're just really good at finger blasting. in
Yeah, but I mean
Kansas.
that's a lot of things are shocking. Right?
Their term was for like wheat shock. So shocking is also a term of like harvesting for wheat. So when kids were going to school in Kansas in like the early 1900s, they would also work on the farms that were nearby the school. So the kids that went to school got called shockers because they were doing all the work independent of their schooling.
It was also shocking that all those hillbillies got into college.
Right. Well, Kansas.
say?
Kansas.
It's Kansas. The bar was low. BTK was a muck. Like it was not a great area to live in. So the shocker is called the Woo Shock, like Wichita University Shocker, right, is the name of the mascot. And it's like a giant piece of shocked wheat is what they're going for. This is the first iteration of the Woo Shock. It is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my... This is what I see in my nightmares.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that one is. I think that's a black wheat version. I'm not really sure. But it feels like,
looks like a pig.
different sides of the same coin there. So that's the shocker. I don't have a lot of story about the shocker or fun facts. The one thing I was able to find, which is the reason I brought it up, is the shocker got in trouble last summer for being in a police/Blue Lives Matter parade. And people got really pissed at him because he was waving around a thin blue line flag with a mascot dog.
Who's people? No, surely no one in Kansas got angry.
It was a lot of people that were like, it was a lot of like Facebook comment, like keyboard warrior type shit, but it was a lot of like alumni and people that live in Wichita. One guy was like, get that flag out of my boy's hands. And it's like, okay, is he really your boy? You really know the Wichita State Shocker?
I think Kansas actually flips a little bit more than other states do. Like they were one of the first ones to, codify abortion laws.
I think it's kind of a mixed bag in Kansas. I think Kansas is a lot like Texas, where you have these like sort of more metropolitan, kind of like scholarly areas. I feel like the cities are like it's Manhattan, Lawrence.
Manhattan's in Kansas?
Yeah. You never knew?
No.
They filmed all of Sex and the City in Kansas.
That's amazing. I should move there.
It's true.
It's an affordable New York.
Yeah, that's why they talk about shockers all the time in Sex and the City.
Shockers.
Because they're going to Wichita State
Do
games.
girls like to be shocked? And also, one in the pinky in the stink. Have you ever done the shocker, Martin? Have you ever done the shocker?
No, I don't think I ever have
You
done
have to be
a shocker.
pretty low to get like that, right?
You gotta really...
Like you'd be going up.
I also have a very small pinky finger. I feel like my reach, you know what I mean? I don't think it's like...
No, you could... Yeah, wait, this makes way more sense. 1 in the pink, 2 in the...
2 in the butthole?
Wait,
2 in the butthole, dude?
I'm imagining she's bent over face that way.
So you're doing it doggy?
And and I'm gonna give her 1 solid finger in the hole, in the back hole, and I'm gonna put these two in the front soft hole. I call it the
The
front.
front soft hole? The front soft hole.
yeah. It makes sense.
Why do you sound like you're putting together IKEA furniture right now?
Well, I'm not putting my pinky in her fucking pooper. That's not what
But
happened.
it also
You would
doesn't
rather-
make sense because you'd be going sideways. Who wants sideways?
What?
You want to go like that. You don't want to go like that.
No.
Yeah.
Her body's sideways.
No. Yeah, but then you're still going against the wall. That's how your fingers bend.
I'm against the wall. I don't
The
understand.
wall
what
of the
you're saying.
vagina. Think about it. You
No,
put
I don't
it in-
understand what you're saying.
Okay, when you go like that, up and in, right?
No.
How do you do it?
You don't. You're just doing your best down there?
Yeah. God, did I tell you about? Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I tried to have sex with a lady.
When?
The very first 2 days of South by.
Okay. And
Did not work.
You couldn't? You just weren't
Uh-uh.
vibing?
Not at all. It was
Wow.
not good. Well, I was ready for it. It's getting a little graphic. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, we already covered Rosebud.
So I was fully erect.
Got you.
And she was gonna sit on it, and as she goes to sit on it, my penis turned into an interpretive dancer, and was like, "No,
He was like, wait, slow down.
no, excuse me, no."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Hey, I'll blow you." And
Good
then
deal.
she goes, "Close your eyes," and she did the thing that, like, you know, when people die but their eyes are still open. she did that to me. And then she goes, pretend it's a man. And so then I try to do my best pretending.
Didn't
But
work.
her mouth is very small.
Very feminine.
See,
so
now
the
that's
small man, very young man, a boy.
It gets a little weird, yeah.
And
and then
then-
you just came right away.
No, thank God I got softer. You know what I'm saying? Like, my penis went inside my body, and that's
Wow.
a hell of a good thing to happen to somebody.
I'll tell you, Colton, I have a suggestion. 2 birds, 1 stone. Next time you're having sex with a woman, turn on a March Madness game. You'll hear all the male voices, and it'll work.
There
And
you
then
go.
neither of us will want to watch it, though.
No, you won't be. It's like mood music. It's like,
Oh, maybe that we'll be so bored we'll stumble back into heterosexuality.
You'll be like, I hate this game so much, it's making me hard.
Yeah. We'll find out.
I think that could work. There's
March-
got to be something in your childhood where that formula works.
Yeah, March. Well, this is March
It's
Madness.
just March anger at this point.
This is March craziness. Damn.
Oh, man.
Teams are getting out of control.
That's right.
Well, that's good. I stand with the blue.
You stand with the so I've heard, yeah. Again, coming out from your famous set from last week. Very cool.
Yeah. That's poor Shocker. He probably just thought he was doing really good, and everybody started hating him.
I just think, like, I love the expression on his face as he holds a Blue Lives Matter flag. Like, it feels like
Clearly
such a,
has
like...
some mental incapacity.
He looks like an arsonist that thinks he's, like, helping the police by starting fires.
Yeah, he looks like he is
You know.
physically deformed as well as mentally.
Like, you know when you hear serial killers be like, I was murdering prostitutes to clean up the streets? That's the kind of guy he looks like.
I would love to stumble into some vigilantism one day.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what I would
What would
do.
be your go-to?
probably knives.
What, you'd stab people? What do you mean knives? That's not an answer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Stabbing people just.
Okay.
Just
Wow.
little
would you
fucking-
Would you get a costume?
Yes.
Would you get? He already
Well,
has the
it's
costume.
not really costume so much as paint. I would just look like I just do a Pope Francis.
There's a
is it
Pope in blackface.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Stabbing people around downtown Austin
For you guys,
and frolicking away, saying you're welcome.
I'm doing it for you.
You look like you need to lose weight, and then you just stab somebody.
And I'll be taking down the Catholic Church and whoever I'm stabbing at the
Wow,
time.
what a hero!
Yeah,
What a
that's
hero.
the hero we didn't want him, but boy do we need him.
There you go.
I got a TikTok to show you guys. It's like mascot adjacent. Takes
Okay.
like 10 seconds, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
Colton, I'll text it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's this This one, I probably laughed for like 10 minutes watching this one.
Why do some Disney characters walk on 2 feet when they should be walking on 4?
Make the workers crawl. Make them crawl. Put them on the ground. Make them crawl on the ground where they belong.
It's so funny too.
Yeah, I just want to watch that over and over again.
He kind of sounds like you at the end of the video. That is what you sound like a lot of the time.
Make them crawl.
Yeah. It is crazy how like disassociated people get when somebody's in a mascot costume.
Yeah, once you're there, you're no longer human.
It's
You're
wild, dude. Like completely rational, reasonable people will entirely disassociate when they see someone in a fucking Bugs Bunny outfit. That's so nuts to me that we do that as like fully formed human beings.
Well, wait, you're talking about adults?
Yeah, adults do it too.
Who?
This fucking lady right here being like, why do some Disney employees
That
get
was
to
a
walk
robot
on
voice, Martin.
It
in
was
the beginning?
Still, it was still a woman. Someone typed
still a
it.
woman?
Right, but it's not a real human being.
Listen, okay, I get it.
Wait,
Just because
no,
it's a
just
robot
because-
doesn't mean it's
No,
not.
I don't think
doesn't
it
mean
was-
it's non-binary.
I don't
Okay.
think it was a robot. I think it was a real
No,
woman.
I am non-binary. Oh,
If anything, robots are very binary.
okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, super binary.
I am binary.
Yeah.
Well,
Also, okay.
This
Also,
lady,
also,
this
okay.
fucking
Honest question.
metal bitch.
Fine. Hang on. Fine. The robot voice. It's a robot voice. It's not a real woman's voice. Do you think it was a man or a woman that
Oh, it's for sure.
felt like they needed to lodge that complaint regarding to Disney characters walking on 2 feet?
Make the workers crawl.
make them crawl. Make them crawl. I feel like it probably. I think he was about to explain it.
Why he wanted the characters on 4 feet?
No, it was a reaction video. Am I about to explain TikTok to you?
No. Oh, so you mean the guy that was saying make them crawl was about to explain why they should be crawling?
No, the beginning.
No,
Right,
actually-
and then he stitched it.
Stitch.
Yeah, but what do you think the explanation is? The explanation is because it's not accurate that they're walking on 2 feet and they should be walking on 4 feet for accuracy.
No, they're gonna be like,
if you-
into Disneyland, they can blah blah blah
Wait,
blah blah.
I just watched the original video and it says, let's talk about it. Many Disney characters walk on 2 feet because they're human.
See,
That's and that's hard to argue. That's hard to argue.
that's a very good point.
I agree.
If there was a Martin Hen,
Mascot?
yeah,
Ooh, man. Okay, it would be a
chicken.
no, it would be a
It'd be a chicken.
It'd be
a
a-
small chicken.
hang on, don't emasculate me with a mascot. Don't emasculate me.
It
No,
would
okay,
be a
it didn't
small
work.
chicken that ate cheese.
It would be I think it would be it would be like a sriracha bottle, but in the shape of a bong.
No. it
Yeah, but he would
be-
also be wearing that exact outfit.
Yeah.
Martin's a lot like Superman, where he wears the same outfit every single day.
I have one look and then a few variations of that look. It's called being a straight man. It's how we all dress.
I don't understand
It's
it.
uniform, and nobody's gonna ever ask you to. It's
Honestly,
okay.
I was trying to categorize my closet last night, and I went, "There's too many options."
I've been reading this Dennis Rodman book, and the more I read about it, the more I realize you are just Dennis Rodman.
But I'm a poor man,
You're
Dennis Rodman.
very much Dennis Rodman. There's a part in the book where he goes, I don't really plan any of my outfits. I just kind of put my whole wardrobe in a suitcase and then put something together the minute I feel something. And I'm like, that's Colton
Yeah,
Dowling.
that's me.
You're
That's-
Dennis
that's
Rodman.
fashion.
Yeah. Say hi to Kim Jong for me. You know?
Yo, if Kim asked me to go over there,
Oh, God.
you can just rest assured I'm going.
Dude, if you were friends with Kim Jong Un, we would never fucking hear the end of it. We would never hear
Of
the end
course,
of it.
because that would be the most interesting thing anybody had to say.
You would be like
What?
you would constantly talk about how you are the best karaoke singer in North Korea, and completely skim over the fact that everybody watching you has a loaded gun pointed to the back of their head.
Right. And I would be like, I know but they tried their best to sing in English, but they're not very good at it.
You'd come back to the creek in the cave showing off your new platypus boots that you got from your best friend, the
Yep.
Supreme Leader.
I would have fucking got the same haircut as him.
Yeah.
We got it together.
Yeah, you would. You'd have your little bowl cut.
Yes.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right? See, it would
It'd
be awesome.
so cool.
And
It would-
I'd
you know
invite you
what?
over.
Selfishly, and he's in tight with like Russia too, like Kim Jong, like they're pretty good buddies. So you would come back for sure with the Trump Hooker P tape.
Trump. Oh, yeah.
You would
I get
have the
that.
Trump Hooker P tape.
Yeah,
we could
I'd
watch
also-
it. We'd put it on the green screen.
I'd also want to go like to like a Russian spa, and he's like, "What? You're in North Korea?" I know. I was really feeling like a Russian spa day. I don't understand. I think there's a translation. No, there's no translation.
Yes, no, you're gonna make it happen. What's the alternative?
I know that you're the greatest leader in the world, that you can make a Russian spa day kind of happen for anybody.
It's you would totally use Supreme Leader against Kim Jong Un. You'd be like, a real Supreme Leader
Right, I would
be able to set up a Russian spa. I bet your dad did
I think the thing that he would get me is that he'd be like, the North Korean people are like, who cares about them? I think that would be the end of our friendship because I'm like, I don't know any. You haven't let me meet any of them.
Yeah. Well, no, he would also be like, oh, I know, right? Who does care about them? He's like, they're always nagging me like, oh, we're so hungry and cold. It's like, be a Supreme Leader.
And it was like, hungry? No, you're in North Korea.
Yeah. You should get nourished from the atmosphere.
I wonder how bad it is over there.
Me too.
Because it can't be that bad. They got nukes.
I don't think that's contingent.
Who knows?
I think, again, it depends on, I think there is,
Mexico
Probably like-
doesn't have nukes, and it's lovely over there.
there's got to be easily like
Lovely?
4,000 people in North Korea just having the time of their lives, right?
Wait,
I think that's probably a generous
I
number.
want to go back to Colton. Lovely, maybe like in Punta Cana.
Yeah.
Punta Cana.
I think
Where the fuck is that?
I think the parts of
Mexico.
Mexico that Chip takes you to are incredible.
I take Chip to Mexico. He doesn't go to Mexico.
You take Chip to Mexico?
I take Chip to mostly
Wow.
Cancun and mostly Cabo. Lovely.
All inclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Which
I'm
is-
sure Mexico's great.
A huge waste of money for me.
Have you ever left the resort?
Yeah. It's a
Love
good to the beach,
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Have you ever, you've been chauffeured from I don't think you've ever left the resort. I think somebody's driven you
Right, they have a shuttle.
somewhere
They have a shuttle.
and then picked you up. I would not, I think if somebody shuttles you to and from your destination, you technically didn't leave the resort.
Then you're going to hate North Korea. Because that's kind of the whole thing over there.
Yeah, I think you get shuttled everywhere, whether you
Yeah.
want it or not.
Hey, no problem, Kim. I love a shuttle.
Oh man, more like Kim, very possible. This guy can do it all. You know?
I wonder how I could delight him. I think maybe some just big ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. He's too narrow-minded, Kim.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of people say about him.
Hey, Kim, have you ever thought 2 in the stink, 1 in the pink? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, these ideas are gonna bring you all the way to the future, Kim.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's the episode.
Okay, great. Well, that's Mascots. Is a little bit about sports, a lot about friendship.
And a little bit about North Korea. I think North Korea is going to get shoehorned into a lot of episodes going forward.
Yeah.
I got the vibe.
I got that vibe.
Yeah. So
Be
tune
my
in.
friend.
Yeah, we got episodes all over the place now. YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff.
Not Apple. We're not doing Apple.
No, we're more into oranges.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Later.